Good morning, Michigan. A very pleasant Tuesday to you. Election day in parts of the state. It's Michael Patrick Shields, heard all across the state of Michigan, and joined in our American Metal Roof studio here in the Gillespie Group Stadium District building, just a couple blocks from where they work. That's the Capitol. Wayne Schmidt, state representative, Republican from Traverse City. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael Patrick.
Frank Foster is here, too, state representative, Republican from Pellston.
Good morning, sir.
The big story of the day, and I don't know if you know this yet or not, but you probably do, is that I met Brooke Shields on a flight to Bermuda on the weekend.
Wow.
That, of course, it was lead.
My
That's
father's going to
pretty
be
good.
super jealous.
Yeah, really?
Wow. Me
Tell
too.
him. She was nice. She had a little tattoo on her ankle, by the way. He probably didn't know that.
No, he
Just a
didn't.
small one.
Thank you for sharing.
I'd be impressed if he did.
I think we're a similar age, and when I was a teenager, that movie she made on the island, Blue Lagoon. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did not see that
You
one.
didn't see that one?
No, I spent my time watching, like Stripes, a few of those type of
Oh.
more highbrow comedies.
Oh, I see. Well,
Gee.
anyway, we had a good laugh. I told her, that when I was a kid, I told my mother that I must be cousin to hers. And my mother broke the news to me that, we don't have the D in our name. We're just Shields.
Yeah.
And she had a good laugh at that. She said, I don't know what the D does for me. And I said, I think it makes you Scottish. And I'm Irish. And she said, well, that's only one island over. And all that. So it was fun.
It's
Good,
close. You had a
fun
good
and running
time.
with celebrities.
Was the flight good?
Yeah.
Was your trip good?
Yeah, very fun. It was very short, but it was fun.
Good.
Untold suffering is seldom. But when I have celebrity run-ins, I like that. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. It's always neat to see people. We see it up north.
Yeah,
people
Michael Moore,
vacationing.
by the way. You run into
Yes,
him
we
from
see
time to
we
time?
see Michael Moore quite a bit.
Did you hear any of his tweets? He's been tweeting about Osama bin
No,
Laden.
I don't get a lot of his tweets.
You're not on his Twitter list?
What's he been tweeting about?
Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what he says here. Let's see. Now that bin Laden's dead, can we put shampoo in our carry-on? I didn't know he used shampoo. Did you? That's what he said. Then he says, the monster we created, yes, we created in the 80s by arming, funding, and training him in the art of terror against Russia finally had to be put down.
Well, I'm not sure that we created someone that could have done the attacks of 9/11.
Yeah.
But
That's pretty
far,
ugly.
That's far-reaching.
Yeah.
Then he says, Osama bin Laden buried at sea, according to Muslim tradition. Yes, most Muslim funerals I've attended, we get in a chopper and toss the deceased in Lake Erie.
Well, that's Michael Moore. Always.
He's the pride of Traverse City,
I don't know if he's the pride of Traverse
or
City.
whatever lake that is. He
Wayne
lives on a
Schmidt's
lake
the pride of Traverse City.
Thank you, Frank.
Is he now, what is this business about an effort to recall Governor Snyder? The story I'm reading says he's taking it seriously.
Well, I think you always need to be cognizant of what's going on around you, what your policies are doing, and certainly sometimes the political effects and the PR effects. Personally, I think he's doing the right thing. Frank and I have both been working hard with the administration and our colleagues, but, a lot of people say, oh, yeah, call Snyder. Then I ask the question, and then what?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have an answer.
Yeah.
I mean, just because you're frustrated with something doesn't mean you just
4
toss
months.
them out.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he
Guys-
says too? Give me a better answer
Guys,
if you don't like mine.
That's right. He's always offered that, I think, to the House and the Senate and
Yeah.
to the total legislature. But 4 months. I mean, we've got to change the culture of the state. We've been in a recession for 10 years, and you want to recall him after 4 months?
Mears is reporting that the House education budget's on a rocky road. True?
A lot of parts, a lot of moving parts there. A lot of people have some passionate ideas about what should go on, but that's the legislative process. If it was easy, cut, dry,
Well,
plug it in, plug it out, done.
I think we'll get it done in an effective time. I hope that some of our colleagues aren't waiting for the May revenue estimating conference, because that's not how I think you should budget. You should live within your means. But I campaigned, and I think most of us campaigned on getting this done. If there's going to be a cut to K-12, we need to get this done before June so our K-12 programs can do the proper
Plan ahead.
budgeting. Absolutely. And so we're still on that track. So whether or not it's a 3.9 or a 3.5% cut, I'm confident, at least on the House side, we'll get it done, because we owe that to our communities and our school districts.
And the other thing is that as you get more revenues, as the plan is, obviously, the number one goal, jobs. That's what everyone campaigned on, Republican or Democrat, getting jobs back to the state of Michigan. So I think we've got to stick with Governor Snyder on the plan there to bring jobs back to Michigan, to put people to work. But as we get more revenue, let's say as the economy gets stronger,
Yeah.
healthier, we need to have the reforms in place in education, in local government, a variety of places, in state government. We've all taken the pay cuts, done those things to lead the way, that as we get more revenue, we know, and the people know, more importantly, that we're going to spend it wisely. And so that's what I'd like to do is, we make the tough cuts now, get the reforms in place, and then as the additional revenue comes in, we're truly putting it in the right spots in education.
Is more money per pupil actually giving us the results we want? This is about education reform. These cuts are going to be tough. No cuts are easy.
You're talking about a sort of a reboot,
Mm-hmm.
a new normal.
Yes, and I think that, of course, my mom's a retired public school teacher, so, you know, I always have to check to make sure I'm invited back for Thanksgiving dinner, or Christmas, for that matter, that we do the right thing so that we do take care of our very good teachers. You know, the old adage, the best teachers are always underpaid and the worst teachers are always overpaid. But we have to make sure that we provide good salaries, good benefits, but also, as Frank said earlier, live within our means. And as the economy gets stronger, that we have more revenues, we can adapt to that. But right now, this is the first time that we've ever really cut education since Proposal A. I mean, and last year we proposed the 170 cut. The ERA, the stimulus money came in and filled it. So this year we told people, I told my superintendents back home, the cliff is coming. And you know, when you're talking a cliff of 4% or 3.5% versus what a lot of other departments have been hit, local government, universities, you name it, families, that's pretty small. And then moving forward, we can build back on that.
You know, I haven't read the entirety of the governor's education proposal yet, but you know, some of the things he has, you've got good actors and bad actors, and we may need tenure reform, and I think a lot of good teachers would think we need to reform that. But one of the pieces is 40% of your compensation is going to be based on your performance. And I did 4 or 5 town halls this weekend, and teachers came up to me and said, "Well, what is this about? Well, how can you do that to us?" I said, "I think 100% of your pay should be based on your performance, because that's the way it is in every business we've done."
Yeah. How do you measure that, though?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think you have to have some kind of standardized achievement.
That's it's a difficult question. I've wrestled with that over the years. You know, started hearing about that discussion when I was in local government, review process for employees, and then teachers. One of the things I think we need to do is reform the retirement system. And talking to my superintendents, Kingsley, Kalkaska, Forest Area, TCAPS, it's one thing about this per pupil cut thing that's killing them. Within the next 5 years, they'll be up to 32% of their budget will be for retirement costs. 32%, almost 1/3 of their budget. You know, that's the thing. That's where when these people come out and say, "Oh, it's going to be roughly a $700 cut to students," it's because we haven't looked at the retirement system yet.
Legacy costs. It's not that
Legacy
different from the
costs,
auto
and I
business.
think we've seen it with the big three. What happened?
Yeah.
And I certainly don't want that to happen to good teachers, but we need to look at the system.
Thank you very much, my good gentlemen. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it very much. That's State Representative Wayne Schmidt from Traverse City. Frank Foster, the state representatives from Pellston. They're Republicans this morning. Susie Merchant from Michigan State University will join us next, and we'll get that audio finally of President Obama at the Correspondents' Dinner. Michael Patrick Shields.